Part 3. Marina hardly slept that night. The apartment, on as a place where she felt completely safe, now seemed unfamiliar. Every creak of the floorboards made her flinch. Every glance at the bedroom window reminded her of the unbelievable sight she had witnessed only hours earlier, her own mother-in-law lowering a brand new laptop from the third floor window with a rope, as she were taking part in some carefully planned burglary. The police had taken statements until late evening. The young man who had been waiting below had escaped before officers arrived, but security cameras from the neighboring building had captured his face clearly. It was only a matter of time before they found him. Anton sat at the kitchen table, staring into a mug of untouched tea. "I don't understand," he whispered. Marina looked at him silently. "Sh raised M," he continued. "Sh taught M to be honest. Sh always said that stealing was the worst disgrace. How cold She?" His voice broke. Marina walked over and placed a hand on his shoulder. "I know she's your mother." He nodded. "But if we pretend this never happened, she'll do something worse next time." He closed his eyes. "I know." For the first time since they had married, Anton realized that protecting his family sometimes meant standing against the very person who had raised him. Defis. 2 days later, the police called. They had identified the young man. His name was Kirill. He was not a dangerous criminal, as Tamara Ivanovna had claimed. He was her nephew. Anton couldn't believe it. "My cousin?" he asked. The investigator nodded. "He has several unpaid debts and a history of fraud. According to his statement, your mother promised him the laptop because she believed your wife had too much expensive equipment." Marina lied bitterly. So my hard work became an excuse. The investigator shrugged. "Unfortunately, family crimes are often motivated by jealousy rather than necessity." Those words stayed with Marina long after they left the station. Jealousy. She replayed years of conversations in her mind. "You spend too much time working. Why do you need such an expensive computer? A woman should think about children, not business." Back then they had sounded like ordinary criticism. Now they sounded like warning signs. Defis. A week later the damaged laptop returned from the repair center. The technician smiled. "You were lucky." Marina looked hopefully at him. The screen survived. The hard drive survived too. She let out the breath she had been holding. Months of work. Thousands of photographs. Contracts. Personal journals. Everything was still there. She gently opened the laptop. The familiar wallpaper appeared. She almost cried. It wasn't just a computer. It represented years of effort, sleepless nights, freelance projects, sacrifices, and dreams. Tamara Ivanovna hadn't simply tried to steal an object. She had nearly destroyed Marina's career. Defis. Anton checked every lock in the apartment. Then he installed a security camera near the entrance. When the technician asked why they suddenly needed extra protection, Anton answered quietly. "Sometimes strangers aren't the biggest danger." Defis. 3 weeks later, Tamara Ivanovna called. Anton stared at the phone for several seconds before answering. "Hello." Silence. Then came a shaky voice. "I just want to talk." "You already had that chance." "I made a mistake." "No, Mom." His voice remained calm. "You made a choice." Another long silence. "I miss you. I miss the mother I thought I had." She began crying. Anton ended the call. It was the hardest thing he had ever done. Defis. Autumn arrived. Life slowly settled into a new routine. Marina worked from home. Anton received a promotion. For the first time in months, they lied without forcing themselves. One Saturday morning they walked through the city park holding hands. "You know," Anton said, "I used to believe family should always forgive." Marina smiled sadly. "And now, I think forgiveness and trust are different things." She squeezed his hand. You can forgive someone. Without giving them an chance to hurt you, he finished. They both smiled. Дефис. The court hearing took place in November. Tamara Ivanovna avoided Marina's eyes throughout the proceedings. Kirill admitted everything. He confessed that the theft had been planned several days in advance. The rope had been purchased specifically for the laptop. They knew Marina usually returned home after 6 in the evening. Only an unexpected change in her schedule had ruined the plan. The judge looked at Tamara. You abused the trust of your own family. SH lowered her head. I know. The sentence was lighter because the laptop had been recovered, but both defendants were ordered to compensate Marina for the repairs and additional damages. Money wasn't what mattered. Justice was. Дефис. Outside the courthouse, Tamara finally approached Marina. I never hated you. Marina looked at her quietly. I believed my son changed after marrying you. I changed him. You made him independent. Marina blinked. For years Tamara had confused love with control. SH wanted a son who obeyed. Not a grown man with his own family. I didn't take him away from you, Marina answered softly. He simply grew up. Tamara had no reply. Дефис. Winter came early. Snow covered the city streets. One evening Marina decorated a Christmas tree while Anton untangled the lights. The apartment smelled of cinnamon and oranges. It finally felt like home again. There were no sparks hidden outside. No unexpected visitors. No fear. Only peace. Anton placed the final ornament on the highest branch. Looks perfect. Marina lied. Almost. SH reached into a small box and hung one last decoration, a tiny silver key. Anton raised an eyebrow. A reminder. SH nodded. Of what? That every home needs locks. He smiled. And every marriage needs trust. SH kissed him. Exactly. Outside, snow continued to fall, covering the streets in white. Inside, warmth filled every corner of the apartment. Marina understood something important. The greatest victory wasn't winning in court. It wasn't recovering the laptop. It wasn't even proving who had been right. The real victory was that SH and Anton had chosen each other over manipulation, fear, and guilt. Some families are held together by blood. Others are held together by honesty, respect, and courage. That winter, Marina and Anton finally built the kind of family that no rope, no lie, and no betrayal could ever pull apart.